But I feel like the podcast is always in banter mode.
It's the only mode we know.
Yeah. Cool. So we're back. Unexpectedly, England are 2-0 down. I thought I'd kick us off with some questions of are Australia good? Will this series last 10 days? Is smoke out of the Vatican time for Pope? Is baseball over? Why do I have this recurring nightmare every 4 years? And McCullum says England are overprepared, but we are underprepared. So welcome back to Just Not Crick Pod. 2-0 down. I don't like cricket. What sport would you recommend to someone to start off with?
Um, to start off with,
Yeah.
well,
Instead of cricket, yeah.
a couple of episodes ago, I recommended just watching some volleyball
You did.
highlights.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that's been
Do
great.
you
I watched
Yeah,
a
nice.
full match on Friday evening.
Yeah.
So we were on a call. You were playing Among Us. I wasn't playing Among Us because I think it sucks. So I was just watching volleyball and doing some
Yeah, of course.
Japanese practice because that's what I enjoy instead
Yeah,
of
nice.
like pretend murder. I'd rather actual, you know.
Actual murder.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What was the question?
I don't even know. Are
Oh,
there any other better
yeah,
sports than this?
better
I would say
sports.
there are.
Um, I mean, I do like football, but it depends on if you want an emotional attachment, because the
Yeah.
current emotional attachment I have is not that great. But
No.
the general
Yeah.
sport is good.
Yeah.
Um,
But
Basketball's
yeah,
really fun. Basketball's
sure.
always end to end, good, exciting
Yeah.
stuff.
Fan
I'd
of bowls?
recommend. I mean, I'm pretty decent at bowls when I've played, which is like twice.
Yeah.
I'd recommend watching The Last Dance, which is a documentary on the Chicago Bulls era in the 90s.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah.
That's what
Saves
really got.
watching this.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather watch that, to be honest, than listen to us.
So turn it off and put that on.
Yeah,
Um, okay, cool. So there's options of not, having to endure this nonsense. So England 2-0 down, and if you listen to this, England are. Um, I think the best thing to do, because I think majority of our listenership from our last podcast, unsurprisingly, were Australian. So I think to start with, shall we give props to Australia or not bother?
I don't know what the Australian listeners would want. Do they want us to be very salty so that they can
Mm,
revel in our
yeah.
disappointment, which I think is fair, they should?
Yeah.
Or do they want us to tell them that they were much better than sorry, your camera just zoomed
I
with
know. Why have I go
it's just
zooming? I don't know what's going on. Sorry, carry on.
I'm in the title card to a James Bond film and your camera is
Yeah,
just
that's not
doing
even
mad
moving.
cinematography.
I guess I can't
What a
move. Sorry,
fucking
carry on.
start to the podcast.
Who
Um,
knows?
yeah,
Yeah,
or
there we
do
go.
the
Fixed it.
Australian fans want us to credit how well they've played?
Yeah. I don't know.
Pro I think it's probably a mix of both. They have
Yeah.
played very well. I would only caveat that with England are shit.
I would say they've played better cricket. Is
Yeah,
that fair?
well,
Like, well, obviously, it's the very not very easy to do against this England side, but it will come on to the England stuff later. But I think there are more opportunities in this series where England have thrown it rather than Australia winning it. Maybe you can say argue that's down to Australia pressure and being better, but there's many opportunities where you have to question the mentality and the skill of England in certain situations, which Stokes has, which we will come on to, which was a bit surprised. But no, yeah, obviously, like Stark has been phenomenal in this series. It's you get whenever he comes on the ball, you can kind of guarantee he's going to make something happen. Where even he didn't take any wickets today, but I think he still bowled with discipline and pressure, and then Nisa was able to come in and get a five for on his home ground. I think it is. Weatherald looks really good as an opening bat. I think he's going to have problems around playing in front of his pad, but I think he looks decent.
like
Marnus is in the runs. Sorry, go on.
you think back to the before the start of the series, and I think Australia had more question marks over who was going to
Yeah,
actually be in their team
yeah,
than England.
yeah,
Like like you said, Weatherall tricky start, duck in his first innings,
yeah.
but
Second
then
ball.
yeah,
Yeah,
come has come back really well
yeah,
from that.
really good.
We weren't sure what their bowling attack was really going to be without Cummins and Hazelwood.
Yeah,
Not necessary. They only mostly need Stark,
yeah, yeah,
but Doggett was decent in that first test. Boland and Naser have been good in this second test.
yeah.
They decided to drop Lyon,
which is a
for
big
this
call.
test, which is a
Yeah.
big call. And we'll get on to England, but it's funny how Australia have got their bowling choices selection-wise right in having a spinner first game and then dropping their spinner the second game.
Yeah.
Well, England have done the exact opposite and lost while Australia won. But
Yeah.
I think another big difference is the wicket keeper.
Massive difference.
You can really
Hugely. Yeah.
trust Carey with both bat and ball,
Yeah.
but I think it's starting to show, especially with bat and ball, with bat and gloves.
Yeah.
It's It's
Yeah.
half 12 on a Sunday. I've only been up for like a
What are
couple
we
of hours.
doing? Yeah, we'll 100% come on to Jamie Smith because I have thoughts, but I think Alex Carey, I would say is probably the best wicketkeeper or gloveman in international cricket at the moment. Like the takes he was taking off Nisa, standing up to the stumps,
Hmm.
which coincidentally, when Rob Key was talking about Ashes tours and not playing Anderson and stuff, this has been doing around social media. How he said that little dibbly dobbler bowlers with keepers standing up to the stumps don't take wickets in international cricket, and then Nisa takes five for in the second Ashes test. So that's cool.
Hmm.
Um, so, but no, the takes that Carey took were great, and first innings was flawless. Some of his catches were, you feel confident as a bowler, I'd imagine, with Carey behind the stumps that not much is going on. He's obviously game aware. If you go back to Bairstow, all that kind of drama,
Hmm.
he's completely in the game. Whilst you have another keeper who I'd say is very much not in the game and isn't sure when the ball is going to
Yeah.
bounce. So
And it's
we'll come
not
on to
just
Smith.
Carey for Australia. I think
Mm.
Smith caught like three of the last
Oh,
five
brilliant!
wickets.
Yeah,
Like one of
yeah,
them, Jacks, I think it was,
yeah. The little
one-handed
dive, yeah,
dive
yeah.
to the left. That was incredible.
Hmm.
The other two just kind of seemed to just go towards him and
Yeah,
gravitate towards him, like which
yeah,
is a skill in itself. You have to be standing in the right
sure.
position, and
Yeah,
he's the captain. He's setting the field. I think
and
there's
setting the
a
tone.
slight
Yeah,
debate whether he should be captain, but that's fine. Also, whatever.
yeah. But
That's
I mean,
me.
he's a very good captain. He's a very good fielder. I think he's like third now on all-time list or second,
Mhm.
in terms of catches in the outfield for a non-wicket keeper. So brilliant fielder. Came in today and absolutely like smoked Jofra for 23 off nine,
Mhm. And then
which was
smoked him with some words as
yeah,
well.
which was cool. Yeah, it will also come to that. What other props for Australia? Um,
First innings, England had like two scores,
yeah,
three at a push. Australia
yeah.
had four or five players get past 50.
Yeah, just
In,
all consistent. All 11 players got 10
yeah.
or more.
And it's
Um,
throughout the order as well. Weatherald got like 70,
yeah. Then
Marnus,
Stark got 70,
Smith,
batting at
yeah.
8. Yeah,
And like England don't have that same
no,
consistency throughout the order. It is
not at
either,
all.
it's literally the scorecard from the first innings. We will mostly have one player getting a 50, maybe one getting 100.
Yeah.
And when we were nine down, even with those scores, we
Mm.
only put up a competitive score with the final wicket, with Jofra
Yeah. Yeah.
coming in and having a
Smashing it.
bit, which is
Yeah.
unexpected, and you can't count on that.
No. Yeah, yeah,
Meanwhile,
completely agree.
Australia just playing cricket like you should.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And well,
100%. Yeah. And I think Cummins said something. I mean, also got to remember Cummins and Lyon will 100% be coming into the next game, um, which is, that's 800 test wickets. So that's cool. That's good. Um, and I thought there's two things. One thing, when they obviously dropped Lyon, for some reason, he did an interview during midway through day one where, he described his feelings as feeling like filthy and like, obviously angry at not being picked because he absolutely wants to play this game. And just starting questions being like, "Oh, frictions in the camp, all this drama," and they've just smoked England 2-0. I don't mean there's any frictions in the camp. He'll play next test, and they've picked correctly by going for five seamers. Um, but then also Cummins was talking on I don't know which radio station. He was saying how one of their main tick boxes or main aims was to make sure that lower order batters, so the tail enders, make sure that they're all kind of facing around about 30 balls
mhm.
to just, even if they're not going anywhere, just to put extra miles in the legs, which I think is a very key tactic. You compare that to England, who just like suddenly dash at the end and, all out within 30, 40 overs
I
most
mean,
of the
I
time.
was going to say their top order batsmen barely face 30
Well,
balls.
yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, we said yesterday, wasn't it? Like Boland faced 70 balls yesterday, and up until today, I don't think, other than Root, no other player had done that in England side,
Yeah.
which
What
is cool. And
who's the
Crawley, maybe.
West Indies player that got 200 off like
Greaves?
300? Yeah, Justin
Yeah.
Greaves.
Yeah.
Like that's an entire England match worth of
Yeah, I know.
balls faced.
Yeah. And also had Shy
And
Hope in that game, got 150,
yeah,
actually, bulk runs. Different
like
pitch, but like, yeah,
yeah,
completely agree.
like that 200 is probably going down as a legendary score for
Mm.
West Indies
Hmm.
and cricket in general.
Yeah.
And it's just that it's a classic test match knock, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Whereas
for sure.
England just have it in their head to play as aggressively as possible and have no off switch.
Yeah. Are we on England?
Are we ever off them?
Okay, so Australia good. I think massive props to Sark. Again, he got player of the match. He's going to be player of the series, already. He got 6 for 75 in this game and 77 and 2 for 64. Um, you know, outstanding and one of the best. I think he went above Wasim Akram in this game. I can't remember I can check for all the fans of stats. He now has 420 test wickets, an average of 26, which is pretty good. And I
Boland
think, yeah.
and Naser as well
Yeah,
in this test. Like
yeah.
Stark only got two in the second innings,
Final
while
innings, yeah,
Naser
yeah,
and Boland, well, Naser especially, picked up the fifer.
yeah,
And
yeah.
Boland is just kind of there. He's always,
Just consistent on a line
yeah,
length.
exactly.
You know what to get.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, good stuff.
Speaking of good stuff.
Speaking of bad, very quickly, one positive, Root got 100. On to the bad stuff. No, very, that first day, it's similar to the Perth game. After day one, it's sort of like that kind of fake optimism of like, okay, that's kind of, you'd say that 350 is a competitive score in a day-night game, and England got 334, and Root got 138. Um, I just, I don't know where to start, honestly. This is what people listen for, but it's just bad. It's Stokes. I think, to be fair, okay, Stokes came out after the game, which I think was actually quite interesting, and said, not in these words, and I'm paraphrasing, but there's a mentality problem in the team in that they can't read the situations when they're presented. He says they're good, if they're ahead of the game, they're usually pretty good because they can attack and get ahead. Usually, if they're behind and their back's against the wall, if you think of some of the other, games they've managed to win, they're pretty good in that scenario. But he said in this series, and I guess previously, when it's kind of neck and neck and even, they fall away and can't seize those moments. He's questioned whether there's a mentality issue of that, which I think is, somewhat critical for this regime because, there is a mentality problem. If you look at Harry Brook, Brook and Pope are going to get the big headlines, especially in that first innings. Brook's shot was just abysmal. And then Pope, first innings was really poor, a poor shot away from his body, leaving England 5 for 2. And then yesterday was the most Pope innings I think I've ever watched when it's a difficult circumstance and he's just frenetic and just slashing at ones. I think the work like I thought Josh Inglis for Australia played an awful innings. He got like 20 and like edged everything to third man and then was finally bowled and it was just the most it should be like, but I think Pope's is, up there or worse. It was just he averages 18 in second innings and he's played what, 62 tests or more? Is that it for Pope, would you say?
I mean, we're coming into the series thinking this is the last
Yeah,
chance for Pope and Crawley. I
yeah,
think this match has probably sealed Pope's
I think
fate.
so. Yeah,
I think he's done. I think this match for Crawley has probably given him the rest of the series to
yeah,
prove
100%.
himself.
I thought he played well, to be fair. Some soft ways to get out, but I thought he did what Crawley does when he
Yeah,
plays okay.
it was a good game for Crawley. I
Hmm.
still don't think he should survive past this series
Yeah,
because these performances happen way too
yeah,
inconsistently. They're not.
yeah,
You're more likely to get first test Crawley than second test Crawley.
yeah, 100%.
So I
I
think
agree.
Pope done for sure.
Hmm.
But and the way that Rob Key sort of runs the ECB, I think he's looking at this Crawley double innings and being like, yeah, no, he's our man still.
Yeah,
Even if he shits the bed for the rest of the
it's it's a
series,
frustrating
which he
pit.
probably
Yeah,
will, because I
yeah.
just don't rate him at all.
It's so frustrating with Crawley because when he played at 76 and we played at 40, because for some reason I watched both of them and I was awake for both of them. Why? I guess I hate myself. He when he's in the middle of those kind of innings, he just does not look like he's going to get out. He looks like you like it feels like you're watching the best batter in the world who's got so much time. The drives he plays down the ground or through the covers look, as best as you ever going to see in cricket. And then he just plays the complete match up. But I agree. He's in the rest of the series because he got 76 and 40, which aren't going to win games, but unless you're Australia and all your team get the same scores. Um, but no, I think I agree. I think Pope is done. I think when you have this kind of loss and you're 2-0 down, it's classic kind of England or any kind of touring side. When things are going wrong, you have to make a change, and he will be the one that gets the axe, and Bethel will come in. Whether that's right or wrong, I think it's time. He was on borrowed time. He does that kind of thing where he starts a series well and he batted okay at Perth, but then gave his wicket away both times. Gets these little starts, but doesn't get anything of consequence unless it's on a flat track or that random series in India where he got 180 or who knows, 90. So yeah,
But from what
Pope
I've
done.
seen, Bethel hasn't really been getting runs for the
No, he
Lions.
got 70 for the Lions today. So I
Okay.
guess he's now got some time minimal, got some runs. So I guess they'll just throw him in. I mean, my genuine feeling is that he's not going to do any worse. Like, so it's already 2-0 down. It's
Mhm.
England can't, I can't see any way that England come back and win the last three games. Bethel is going to be a player they're going to look for the future. Chuck him into Lions Den. Why not? We do it all the time. So
Yeah,
it's just that's the frustrating thing. It's just classic, straight into that kind of old Ashes vibe of like, wheels are off. Where can we go next?
yeah.
Um,
I'm kind of getting reminded by, I think it was a series we lost 5-0 in Australia, where the last game we just decided to like give Scott Borthwick a debut and Sam
Classic, yeah.
Robson or something like
Classic.
that.
Yeah, I think that was Scott Borthwick, Gary Ballance, and Boyd Rankin. Yeah,
Yeah,
classic.
it was just like, oh well, just give the lads some
It's
minutes.
it's pure Ashes heritage, isn't it?
They've been along for the
Um,
tour. It's only fair they
yeah.
get a game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nice. They pay their subs. Um,
Yeah, they deserve some portion of the depression and
exactly. Yeah,
disaster as well.
and the
So,
scarring. Yeah. Um, I think if we're going to talk about previous Ashes tours and this one, I think this ranks right up there for me. Maybe I'm misremembering my depression from the other games, but I think both of these games, as I mentioned when talking about Australia briefly, both these games there has been points, quite clearly points where England are either ahead of the game or completely in the game. And that was day one and day two of this game. There's a point where Australia were coasting in the first innings and they were like, what, 290 for maybe two or three? And then Cast bowled that over where he got two wickets out of nowhere. And it was both set batters. Green played a horrible shot, which was reminiscent of Harry Brook getting bowled. And then you had Smith getting caught by an absolute come on down wonder catch by Will Jacks. And the game was wide open. It was what, 592 for five? And they were still about 40 behind. And that you just felt that was a time where you could really grasp the game. And then England, before that and a lot of time after that, dropped five, six catches in that innings. And on the pitch where it's good to bat on, and Australia scored 511, you're asking the bowlers to go back again and again and basically get people out, you know, 14, 15 times due to all the drops. And these drops aren't hard drops. You can blame the big ball who you want, but Jamie Smith dropped an absolute dolly at the beginning of the innings when Travis Head was on five. You had he didn't go for a catch, which they dropped Carey when he was on maybe 20, 30. He ended up getting 60. It was very much Smith's catch. He didn't go for it, and then Root had to kind of try and stoop and grab it one hand. It wasn't his catch. That was good. Cast dropped a dolly. It was just bad. So I think my overall point is again back to the Australia point. England have very much let Australia back in the game or let Australia run away with it when they could have really, if they were a serious team,
yeah,
they could have really grasped the initiative. It was the same when they're batting. Talking about Harry Brook again, this is going to be roundabouts ranting. But yeah, England were 176 for three in the first innings, and at that point, you're looking at setting up the Roots in, Brooks in, and then the first ball Brooks faces off Stark. He just tries to like mow it over cover, and he's caught first slip for 31. and it's just the very frustrating thing
Mm.
is he clearly just hasn't taken on any advice or any kind of criticism or any feedback from the first game at Perth. It's just very much like, ah, their ball, I hit ball. There's a
That
game situation, you know?
is suggesting, though, that there has been some talk and criticism from the
Oh,
coaching
within the camp.
staff
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or the
Yeah.
data analysts. Um, my query would be, has there actually been?
I would doubt it. No.
Because like these England players are continually to playing like this.
Yeah.
This has to
Yeah, yeah.
be like either a directive from the coach and the captain and the tactics, or they're going against what they've been told to do. Neither is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. 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 So what would you put that blame to? Because obviously with Brook, you could say he threw the game against India in the summer when they were 50 away from winning,
Mhm.
three down, and he played a horrendous shot. He threw the game in Perth with his dismissals there. And then in the first innings, I think the second innings he got a good ball, so I can't really blame him too much. But the first innings, when he's setting up the game, completely threw it away. Would you, is it a shared blame, or would you say it's a philosophy blame of the whole regime? Because he's obviously being told, like, I sent you a thing yesterday that Scofic came out and said they haven't had any discussions about the risks of driving on the up. And then obviously you memed saying they've only been told that's what they have to do, which is fair enough. Um, so is it, I guess it's a combined thing, right? If they're not telling him that's wrong and he's just being encouraged to do that, is that more their blame, or should he be a bit more self-reflective and be like, actually, I need to rein it in
Yeah,
because I've
I
given
mean,
away games?
we can only guess at any conversation if there is a conversation being had.
Hmm.
I think it's a shared blame regardless.
Yeah,
I think you look at, say, Root, he is still playing in a way that McCullum and Stokes would want him to play, but he's
yeah,
game aware. Whereas
yeah,
Brook just has sort of one gear and sticks to it.
yeah,
So he should be more like he should be more attuned to the game state and how he should play at certain moments.
yeah,
But that's also like how he's being told to play. Like
yeah.
he is still like relatively new to Test cricket. He's only two, three
2 years now.
years.
He debuted in 2022, so 3 years now. So
Yeah,
he's
which is
pretty
still
experienced now. First time in Australia, I'd say, but I don't know if you can call on that.
yeah,
He's played 32 tests, and I think he's currently number one, number two ranked batter in the world. He averages 55 in Test cricket. So there's this, on one hand, you're saying you have to say what he's doing is working for him, but you just feel like, well, he can be better.
yeah.
He can
I
clearly be better.
I would look at like how he's getting out most of the
Yeah,
time. Because you
yeah,
can look at some batsmen and be like, he's got a weakness with the LBWs. He plays outside
yeah,
off stumps that Crawley.
yeah,
Um, has Brooke really got a weakness, so to speak? Has he been getting out in a certain way each time? Or has it been he's been getting out because he's played too aggressively
yeah.
all the time?
I think it's more the latter. I think he
Exactly,
had some
which you,
issues with the short ball, but like I feel like his issue with the short ball is that he keeps going for the short ball. So I think it also lends into the too aggressive.
yeah, which then blame lies with the tactics and with
Yeah,
how he's being told to play.
yeah,
If there was one specific way he was getting out, like playing outside off stump, I think you can lay that more on the player because they
yeah,
know that is a problem. They should be working on it.
yeah,
But if there isn't like a specific way they're getting out, if there's not a specific way that bowlers are targeting to them,
yeah,
that's like a tactical issue. And I
yeah.
still think
I agree.
Brooks should be a bit more smart with how he plays.
100 massively. Yeah, 100%.
Like
Has to be. Has to
it's
be.
definitely shared blame,
Yeah.
but I would say more on the coaches and
Hmm.
the style of play than
Yeah. Because he's obviously being encouraged. That's fine. Just execute it better next time. Because otherwise, why is he playing the same shot again and again and again and getting out the same way? It's just not, it's not good enough when you're
yeah,
setting up a game. How could, as a player as well, if you're 176 for three and it's coming to that twilight period, which is the hardest period to bat. You've got Mitchell Stark coming on, who's got like a gazillion wickets this series. and your initial reaction is for a wide ball outside the off stump. It's like, oh, I'll try and hit that for six. I just don't. How is that your thought process? But like I think it's a bit of
And
both.
yeah, I think there's another issue with team selection as well. All of
Okay,
these batsmen, other than Root, are kind of the same. They're
probably. Yeah,
all offensive batsmen,
yeah,
for like
yeah.
lack of a better term. They
Hmm.
are all trying to do the same thing,
Yeah,
other than Root, kind of. But
yeah.
Root is
Well, you
Root.
look at Roots innings the other day. He got his 100 off about 180 balls or something, and was just
Yeah, and
just looked clinical.
he was still doing switch ramps as well. So
Yeah, yeah,
he is still playing in a fun and aggressive way.
yeah.
But like, if
But
there's
measured.
no, yeah, there are no batsmen in that order that you think are going to stick around for a while that can just
No,
dig in.
but
And and
yeah,
like number three is where you would say traditionally that player comes in, so they can
yeah,
shore up the defense. And I think
hmm,
Marnus does a good job for that for Australia.
yeah, yeah,
And like Trott is one of my favorite players
mm,
of all time because he
yeah,
was just a really annoying player to bowl against,
yeah,
and he would stick around for ages.
yeah.
But like when you've got Pope coming in, who
He's
can
not a
be a
number three.
no, he's not.
Just frenetic. It's
Yeah,
just you have no confidence that he's going to get through the first 10 balls, and if he does, he might go a pretty 20, 30.
yeah. And so if you
But
don't
yeah,
have that variety in the order, like
hmm,
obviously you're going to get out for a lower score because
yeah,
no one's sticking
yeah,
around.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely wheels off time, wheels off the wheels falling off kind of time. But you got today, which is also bizarre because I was like ready for my sleep in. And then I woke up naturally. I was like, oh, I can continue to sleep. And then I saw it was tea or whatever the first break is, and England had lost a wicket, and Stokes and Jacks had just batted traditionally,
Mhm.
and they'd scored like 60 or 70 in that first session, and we're going at like strike rate of 30. So I don't understand that. I can understand it as from a point of Stokes being like, you know, F sake, guys. Like, just come on. Let's just actually, show some fight. But like, that's obviously not the way that the rest of the team were told to play yesterday because they came out and had a go. But then your game plan this morning is like dig in, which I respect and which is what I want to see. But there's obviously mixed messages there. You're suddenly now trying to bat through a session, but
It
I don't
it's
understand.
it's reactive rather than
Yeah,
proactive
yeah, that's not how
because
you've been playing. Yeah,
yeah, because they are reacting to they should be reacting to the game state, but they should be
yeah,
reacting before, i.e.
yeah,
proactive
yeah,
about
yeah,
it. But they are in this bad situation and be like, "Oh shit, we've got to
yeah,
change," when
yeah.
it's already too late.
Yeah, 100%. That is it. Yeah, it was. It is. I was like, on one hand, I was like, oh yeah, they're still batting, and then I kind of looked at how many like balls they'd faced. I'm like, what? It's just, it's really frustrating because you're like, there are players there who know how to play that way, and you've not played that way where it mattered, and now it's too late. In the words of what Smith said, you're bowling fast when it's too late, champion. Like, or when there's nothing going on and the game's lost. Why are you waiting to this point where yesterday was one of the worst Ashes days away I've seen? Two games have been lost, and now you're choosing to be adapting to the situation. When if you'd have played that way in Perth, if England were defending 250 more in Perth, they would have won that game. I would hand on heart say that. But you didn't play that situation well, and you didn't play the situation well in the first innings, and you're in a situation, but now you're like, we'll block. It's like you say, it's reactive and it's annoying.
Yeah,
I should be like, that's good. They're playing good, but I'm like, it's annoying. I love
yeah,
Ashes.
yeah. It's good in it. So like, I'm thinking back to the Stokes pre-match interview with Ishigua, I think it was.
Hmm.
I
Mhm.
think it's what you were referring to when he was talking about the mentality. And he
Yeah, yeah.
said that there isn't an issue with the skill of the
The skill.
players
Yeah,
because he sees the skill of the players in
yeah.
obviously in the training sessions. And there is undoubtedly a lot of ability in some of those players.
Yeah, usually.
But I would disagree with him in that there is also not a lot of skill in these players.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
many of these England players get into Australia's team, which is basically down to their B choice bowlers?
yeah. Seconds.
and they're playing really well. That's not a dig against them. It's just
No, yeah, it's they're
it's
not their
a
first, they're
comp
not it's not their first choice team.
no, it's a compliment to their first choice bowlers who are
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
Like who gets in the Australian team? Root?
But if you're doing it side by side, it's Root v Smith, and I think in Australia it has to be Smith, and probably in most other places in the world it has to be Smith, right?
Yeah, but we don't have to do that.
So Root can bat five. Yeah,
If
well,
you were
Root
if you
gets
were making the best team out of these two teams, you'd have Smith and Root in.
yeah, of course, yeah. But I mean,
I think Smith would drop to
yeah.
five. I think he'd be
Well, I'd drop
fine, and
Root
I
to,
think
I'd
he'd
probably drop
play.
Root to five. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't think it makes much
yeah. But
difference.
yeah, they
I
both get
don't
in the
think.
side.
Yeah,
I'd still Root gets in and
yeah.
Stokes gets in because I don't think Stokes is having the best series. Well, he got five from the last game. Got 50 today, and I think he's still our
Hmm.
best technical player behind Root, and he's the best all rounder of the
Hmm.
series because Cameron Green hasn't turned up. Um, Root and Stokes get in. Carey's the better keeper.
Hmm.
Renshaw and Head wasn't even opening at the beginning of the series, and he's the better opener. Marnus at three, absolutely.
Yep.
Bowler wise, you can take your pick.
I
Like
think. Yeah.
maybe,
On ability, I think only Jofra gets into this Australian team with
yeah,
these bowlers. When
yeah,
everyone's
like
fit, it's just an
yeah.
Australian attack, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, like
And
100%,
like
without a
I'm
doubt.
judging that on Jofra's potential ability, on what we know he can be, not what
Not
we've
necessarily what he's done.
seen. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I will say, I don't think the stats reflect too well. I do think Cass has bowled well throughout the series. He's been very much the guy that Stokes gone to is like he wants him to be the wicket taker and keeps asking him to bowl in absolutely horrendous ways of like short ball tactics to like he falls over. But his work rate, the fact he bowled, I don't know, over after over after over, kept his speeds up is a wicket taker. He's going at six and over, which is ridiculous, but that's down to the plan that Stokes is setting him. I think Cast can come out of this looking good, although his figures don't reflect it. I think generally, he's just put everything into every ball and he's getting wickets. I think he's England's leading wicket taker in the series. Stokes has bowled pretty well. Atkinson, I keep hearing people saying Atkinson has bowled well. I mean, he's put on a good line of length, but he's not really made any incisions apart from the two he made today.
When
Jofra,
the game was already lost.
yeah, exactly, yeah. Jofra, Smith summed it up, bowling fast when it's already got done, champion, like his paces are a bit down, but he did have a good opening spell, I guess, on the second day. Um,
So
I don't know.
like with this pink ball test at night, you it seems a lot and swings a lot at night, doesn't it,
Yeah,
under the lights?
yeah, yeah.
Is there any like legendary English bowler that's maybe like uh, over 40 years old
Retired, yeah,
that like
yeah.
could have been decent for this
Done the
kind
job
of
that
game?
Nisa did, could have been
Yeah,
interesting.
that's like was old yellowed and taken out back and
Yeah.
shot like Rob Key with the
Yeah,
shotgun. Just I'm sorry,
yeah.
it's your
I
time.
know.
While
I can't remember if it was
Jimmy
last
the
tour or tour
dog is doing
before.
yoga and looking all spry and
Yeah.
still getting wickets in the hundred and blasting everything. And
Because the thing is with Jimmy, he's not here and we can't go on about it. And I think he was nearing the end. But like, that he would bowl economically and he would hold an end. So that you can have a bowler like Cass who can attack from the other end and you don't have to worry about the run rate too much because it's being held up by a Jimmy. And Jimmy can bowl long overs, even at his age, consistent. He might not be getting the same number of wickets that he used to, and that was very much a problem, and that's probably led to why he was dropped eventually. But he was still consistently bowling a good line length and still quite economical, especially like in places like India. And if you're bowling stump to stump in this kind of game, I think he would have been an asset. But he's not here, and we're all depressed.
yeah,
Um,
it's probably too long past the actual event for us to still be talking about it. But yeah.
yeah, but it's the point. Yeah, it's and there's no the point is there is no bowler of that style.
Mhm.
The whole fanfare of this series is they're bringing this kind of fast bowling quartet. They're going to blow Australia away with pace, and then suddenly they all look samey.
And they get scared
Like,
and throw in Will Jacks
yeah.
after
I will say
having
though, I think Will Jack's
persevered
batted
with.
well.
Is he not more of a batter than a bowler though?
He is, yeah. He
So
shouldn't be picked as a bowler.
yeah, it feels like another Mo situation
Yeah,
where
he's now,
he's a batter that can bowl a bit of spin and he's gonna be
yeah,
picked as a bowler.
yeah. And Bashir is now not going to play the series, or no other spinner is going to play the series because Jax has got runs, not because he's spun
Yeah.
anything. Um. I guess a few final points of fun. Um, I think I just quickly want to mention Jamie Smith.
Yeah,
Um,
just
shares your
quickly.
name just quickly. I mean, you might then ask for 30 minutes. Is he good?
Maybe. Not now, not this test,
Not.
not this series.
Okay. I think while you look at Brooke, who has definitely got the technical game and he has got the skills to succeed, I don't think Jamie Smith has the technical game.
Mhm,
He's getting out in the same kind of ways that he can't play a moving ball, and I think that's an issue. Like he had his off stump knocked out in the first innings by an in swinger, and then he was driving away at one that swung away in the first innings. And there's a good side by side that was doing the
mhm,
rounds the other day of a game in New Zealand when they played the white ball tour, and when he got the ball in first innings, and the dismissals are the exact same.
mhm.
Like there's the same gap between bat and ball. It's not picking the one that's coming in, and it's that's an issue if you can see there's a technical issue 2 months ago and it's still a technical issue now which hasn't been fixed and his keeping was poor. We spoke really, highly of Carey and Carey had a brilliant game. Smith was, that's as poor as, I'd say Butler in the last Ashes series, which was poor. Um, it's it just feels like the same old story of English keepers in Australia that it just all kind of goes wrong. And I feel like the keeper is such a important cog in the wheel that if they lose confidence and he was taking balls and looked surprised when it was suddenly bouncing more like the one that he dropped from head it's sort of like oh what it's up here now and it's like yeah that's you're in Australia. I don't know. I think it's a concern where it looks like he's getting mentally fatigued by it, so that's my worry. I think he's a incredibly talented player, but he's another he's a young player who's been brought off and playing white ball cricket and flat pitches where he can just hit through the line. And I think now he's playing on pitches where he's being tested. The test isn't working. Is that a fair summary?
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day with
Yeah,
how the ECB are trying to get young people into cricket now.
yeah,
They've obviously been trying to do that with the 100
yeah,
and a lesser extent with the Blast.
yeah,
So kids, young adults are being brought up on cricket with white ball stuff.
yeah.
So their perception of how cricket should be played is white ball.
Smashy smash. Yeah,
Yeah. So which is only going to harm how England develops younger players or how they
yeah,
just naturally want to play for red ball, first class, and test matches.
yeah,
And he, like, has Jamie Smith been exposed to that environment
yeah,
too much,
yeah,
which is why like his deficiencies are being shown
yeah.
with this series? Um, he's more of a batsman that keeps a bit rather than a
Yeah, exactly. Rather than the
keeper that
folks
can.
who's a keeper, then that's a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and like he's another part of the order where he is a batsman that wants to attack and play
yeah,
good aggressive shots, and like we'll always compare him against Folks.
yeah,
But if Folks was in the team, like
yeah,
keeping, obviously that's going to be loads better. He's an
yeah,
incredible
yeah.
keeper,
Hmm.
but he has that more of like a solid mentality
Standard.
to
Yeah, yeah,
stick around. And I know he was kind of dropped because he wasn't batting particularly well with the tail end, but
yeah.
like it was always off the back of the like upper order not batting well.
Yeah, it's the same with that. I feel like one of the reasons they brought in Jax is obviously to lengthen the tail, but also to help with Jamie Smith and that he wasn't always, they're six down, and then
Mhm.
he's got to bat around Atkinson, Cass, etc. But it's the same old story. If you even you go back to 2023, you had the whole debate of Bairstow playing over Folks, and you can argue that that series was lost because of the chances that Bairstow missed, and he dropped a fair few in that series. And the argument would be, well, if you weigh that against Bairstow's runs or the catches and dismissals that would definitely have been taken with Folks, what's more important? And I feel like in Australia, I don't know, like runs are, of course, massively important, but you should be relying on your top six to get the bulk of the runs.
What's the
But if you don't,
saying? What's the old saying? Like catches win matches?
yeah, And like
I
if
I
they'd
think
have,
that's all you need, really.
yeah, and like if they'd have caught head in that first innings, and they were like, Australia was suddenly, 6 for 1 or whatever it was, and Jofra had bowled, I think, 4 overs for not many, maybe like 2 or 3 runs. They're under pressure. It's a completely different game. So, but ifs and buts. James, that England haven't picked a spare wicketkeeper in this series unless Ollie Pope keeps, and they've not picked any other spare opener or anything like that. So he's going to have to keep until the rest of the series, which could be damaging, or he could, come back and when the pitches are a bit flatter at Adelaide and the MCG and hit through the line a bit more. But I think you could kind of see the mental toll on him, and that's a concern. I've seen that look before on many an Australia tour. And it's like, oh
Yeah,
no. It's that kind of dead end stare like Joss does quite well, where he's sort of just like looking into the
yeah,
distance of like, oh no, I hate this. So that's good.
yeah. And like, even though this Australian team is like a bit nicer now, it
Mm,
feels like they're getting into the chirps phase of the
yeah.
series.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Do you
a
want to,
little,
yeah.
yeah.
Go on.
I don't know if I was segueing into Smith versus Joffrey. It was only
Do you want
like,
to quickly talk about that? Because I think that is,
sure.
one hand, with that little, Australia are not going to be all out for 50. So all England can do in that segment is like, okay, let's just take 3 or 4 just to try and make some questions the next game of like some like, oh, if Weatherall falls over another one from Jofra, then he's obviously got an issue. Or, if Jofra hits Smith in the helmet or something, like if there's some kind of psychological blow you can make,
Mm,
fine, I get it. But there is no, I guess that Jofra's trying to get in the game and trying to be like, here's the fight. But then Smith is 100% correct to be like, why are you bowling fast when the game's gone now, mate? What, like, you don't need the chirp. Chirp in the next, but where was the chirping like 2 days ago?
mhm.
Where was you trying to get in the game then? Why are you trying to only like force yourself into the narrative when the game's gone? You know?
Yeah. It kind of reads as being a bit of a sore loser.
Hmm.
I'm a
Yeah.
bit pissed off and angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the way Smith played that over as well, got like
Yeah.
two or three fours from it, sort of just
Yeah.
compounds
Yeah.
this
23 off
all.
9.
And like if you compare it back to how England were like attacking the Indian team
Yeah.
in that one game
Yeah. Yeah.
to this single line from Smith,
Yeah.
Smith has earned the right to do that with the
100%.
position Australia are in.
Yeah. 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 Like I would completely back Jofra to bowl wheels and just aggressive in that session, but you don't need to say anything. Like if you want to like I in that you've got to try and take wickets in that session just to try and take something.
Mhm.
But there's no point having a pop at him when he's one of the best batters to ever play the
Yeah.
game and you need 60 to win.
Yeah. I'd like to know what Joffre actually said because it's only out there what Smith said, right?
Yeah. Like there was the second chirp when like he kind of top edged it over
Hmm.
the keeper and like Jofra's pointing at the bat. So I'm guessing he's saying like, oh, you can't even hit the middle or whatever, I guess. I don't know, like something along those lines, but who knows? I mean, I'm very happy to see chirpsing and that kind of stuff and that, aggression. Because it's in some ways it's like it's how a player gets into the games. Like Jimmy used to do it sometimes broad or whatever, or many of the great Australian sides. But it should have been 2 days ago. If you want to get fired up, do it 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Like not when you need 60. So that it's just annoying. It just looks a bit embarrassing. Um, anything to say about Matt? Like
Um, yeah, volleyball's pretty good. It's really,
volleyball is pretty good.
yeah,
Um,
very high quality stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So, I did put questions out. So, England's going well when you put a post out on social media about criticism and stuff and how it's not going well, and it gets 1.3 thousand likes. So my point was that this series has been planned for from the Rob Key regime, and you've got, a wicket keeper who can't play the moving ball and looks surprised at the bounce and keeping, a number three who can't bat in difficult situations, and they've stuck with him. Um, they've picked Bashir for 18 months, especially for this series, going against all the criticism, and now he's absolutely not going to play a single game in this series. So that's a good plan. Their bowling attacks have never played with each other before. This is the first time these types of bowlers like, Joffrey's never played Atkinson before, or Cast, they've never bowled together. And bowling partnerships is so important. Look at Broad and Anderson, or Cummins, Hazelwood and Stark, etc. And then not adapting to the game unless the game's already over and then you back through a session, just so you can do it. So good stuff. And then McCullum comes out afterwards. Whilst I think Stokes was reflective and visibly annoyed, I enjoyed how,
Mhm.
I also want to see when a player gets out and they've not done well. I also want to see the emotion of it because I feel like if they just walk off and don't react, I'm a bit annoyed because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm annoyed. Why are you not annoyed?
Mhm.
So seeing Stoke like, punch his helmet when he gets out, I'm like, okay, cool. I want to see that. At least, someone cares. And I think his interview is quite reflective of Isha and Test Match Special, where you do feel like he's actually going to give some criticism to some players back in the dressing room, which I think is 100% needed. Um, but McCullum said when he's asked about the preparation, the preparation's been a talking point and it's snoozy. And, he didn't play the pink ball game between his test and they didn't
Yeah.
play many warm games.
And they've had
Um,
11 days between the two tests. So,
11
like,
days. So McCullum said, I think leading into this test match, I actually felt like we were over prepared, to be honest. Um,
where's the evidence for that?
so they had an extra training session. They had an extra net day. So instead of 4 days, they had 5 days. So his view on that is that they've trained too much rather than not enough. What are your thoughts on that?
There should always be a balance with the training, right?
Yeah,
You can't, like, especially in this series, which is like
yeah,
2 months long,
yeah,
you need to
basically,
have
yeah,
some time to have some,
yeah,
just some like leisure and time off and just to
yeah,
chill. Otherwise, too much cricket will just burn you out and you'll just
yeah, exactly.
flop. And it
Yeah,
was a good opportunity in these 11 days to try and find some balance.
yeah, 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 100%.
But like less than 50% of the time, not training after having lost a game in 2 days, it's
Yeah,
not like
yeah,
great. Like maybe give them do 3 days on, 1 day off.
yeah, yeah. Just anything, just some kind of breaking it up. Like I like half of this team haven't played a ping ball test before, and I think ping ball has to be taken into account, of course. But like you've got to look at the catching of it as well. Like catching under lights for a pink ball is obviously an issue, and they obviously weren't ready for that. So
And like not having had a proper warm-up match prior to the series, to be
yeah,
given the opportunity against the Prime Minister's 11,
yeah,
is
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Like had actual proper
yeah,
players in it,
hmm
whereas England were just like, we'll
yeah,
send Tung and Bashir
yeah.
and
Like
someone
and
else who I
yeah,
can't remember, but
like the conditions of that were completely different to what they would get at Brisbane. Fine, but it's still time in the middle.
mhm.
It's still facing a pink ball. It's still under lights. And if they're like, oh, but the cut-off time is a bit too close, you could always just send them for the first day, and then they've had a bat, and they come back. Like it doesn't matter. It's a friendly, so fun, good stuff. So I don't agree, Baz. Um, but yeah, I'll quickly finish off. So like I said, I did a big old post which got a bit of traction, which is fun. So I
Mhm.
thought I'd go to the bottom comments, which where they get like these comments may contain spam or offensive. Um,
Sort by controversial on Reddit.
so yeah, so the top one is like dumb bloody Kiwis. Yes, it's fair enough. That's
What? Oh, okay.
yeah.
I thought they were talk like maybe
To
upset
West
about the
Indies.
West Indies result. Yeah.
They could be. I might ask them. That's Basball in it. You guys were so happy about all of this at the start of the series, weren't you? Hyping up this dog team to the sky. Typical Poms. Off to the golf course, lads. Which is fair enough. Um,
Wait, did we do that? I thought we were saying we were
we
kind
could.
of shit and
Yeah, I think we both said that Australia would win. I think I was
yeah,
too optimistic and said 3-2 to Australia. Now I'm like,
yeah.
I'll reverse that to 5-0.
I think the nicest thing we said about England was like these teams are quite equal in ability.
Yeah, and
And I
England were
still
quite
think
settled
that's
for better or
yeah.
worse. Yeah,
And
I
I
think
still
they. I
think
think
that's
they are.
true. And
Yeah,
think that's what is making the results and the performances worse because
yeah,
this is
yeah,
the best in
yeah.
inverted commas chance that
Best
England
chance.
have
Yeah.
had to win a chance in a
hmm
win a series in Australia in ages.
Yeah.
It's
As McCullum said, it's the series of our lives, and we can't forget that. Um, yeah, they should. They. There is a world where they could have been 2-0 up and not 2-0 down. They should have definitely
mhm.
been 1-0 up off Perth. They completely let that game go. So yeah, as Billy says. Having the most overrated captain in the history of cricket, which fair enough. Um,
Yeah. I was thinking when he was doing that post-match interview, he
yeah,
kind of looks a bit resigned and like I wouldn't be
Th-
surprised if he gave up the captaincy at the end of the series
yeah.
and just been like, I
I
can't be,
mean,
I'm fucking done with it, boys. Or just
I've
it's
said for months that he retires after this series, and I think if they lose, that happens.
I don't think retires, but I can see him resigning the captaincy.
Yeah. Well, there's always if they lose badly, it's the classic heritage of Ashes. Their heads will roll, and it's whose head will roll. So
Yeah,
it will
we'll
probably
see if
be
he texts the opposition and calls anyone a
yeah,
cunt. That's
yeah, nice. There's a fun one I actually thought was quite nice.
Mhm.
From Alex. He says, "What's the common trend? They all play for Surrey." I gave that one a like.
I don't even know how true that is. It is funny though.
You've got Pope,
Mhm.
Smith, Atkinson. Oh, sorry. And I don't know, is the pitches they play on in at the Oval, it's a very good batting pitch. They can, Pope averages like 90 at the Oval.
Mhm.
It's the best pitch about in the country. Is that really the best test of a batter? Maybe not.
Yeah,
Maybe it's Surrey's fault.
it's a funny comment. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, good one. I think that's the end of the potential spam and not nice ones. But a lot of people got involved and they keep getting involved, and I'm gonna turn my phone off. Um, so that's fun. Um, yeah, any other points about this ridiculous series? I guess what changes would you make to the next game is what we can finish on.
Oh, God. What changes are there that you can make?
Pope
Um,
to
yeah,
Bethel, I think is nailed on.
but I'm tempted by Pope to Jacks and having an actual
Spinner.
fourth bowler in there.
So would you be Bashir or another seamer?
Well, that's the thing, because I don't particularly rate Bashir anyway. I don't think he should
Yeah,
have been the earmarked spin bowler for this
yeah.
series. But it's also harsh that after having been earmarked for this series, that he's not going to get
But yeah, the
any
planning
game
of him
time.
playing 18 months and then they don't play him. Yeah,
So, like, at this point, 2-0 down, why not?
yeah. Yeah. Do you want
Um,
his figures from the Lions? Just this might sway your opinion. Do you want his figures from the Lions game he's playing currently?
sure. And by sway my opinion, I don't really have an opinion about. I don't know.
So, Australia A got 588 for 8 declared.
Mhm. Yeah.
Nathan McSweeney opened for Australia last year, got 226 not out. Um, so Josh Hull also played this game,
Mhm.
who's left arm seamer. He got 3 for 103. Bashir bowled 25 overs, two maidens, none for 115, going at 4.6.
Yeah, he fit right in.
Yeah, so he's in.
Yeah. I would like to see Josh Tongue as well.
Yeah, like, Josh
Yeah.
Tongue would have been great in this game, with the tail wagging. He'd,
Hmm.
perfect player to be in this game, but he wasn't
Yeah.
there. So
I
would
think,
you,
yeah. I
so are you
was
going to
it.
have Jacks to three?
I mean, I don't know if that's smart, but like you're putting in Bethel, who isn't in great form.
Yeah,
I think the only other option would be Brooke, kind of. And like
mm,
maybe batting at three sort of cools his head and has to forces him
yeah. He did it
to
in one innings in 2023 Ashes, I
yeah,
think.
like if that forces him to sort of play with a bit more brain
Yeah,
power, that could be
maybe.
beneficial. But that's like this is all clutching at straws and not knowing what the fuck to do.
Yeah, and I think Jonathan, I don't know if I sent you someone, but Agnew was talking and ranting about this yesterday, which I
Hmm.
kind of agree with. Like, there's no players in this squad to put pressure on the current players.
Yeah.
Like, you can pick Bethel, but he's got
Hasib
150 on this tour.
Hamid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if Hamid was in this squad, he's come off, the county championship where he's been the leading run scorer. I'm guessing. I think he was. That's pressure on Duckett and Crawley. Duckett's not had a good innings since the India series. He's been horribly out of form. But there's no players in this squad to put pressure on the current players, unless you count the Lions as an extension of the squad. So maybe like James Rue and Tom Haynes, I guess.
But
Um,
they're never getting in the team. There's
no,
no
they're
chance
yeah.
they're getting in the team.
They'll come
Even
in
if
the
they
squad if
should
someone
be.
gets injured, but like they're not going to play.
Mhm.
So the only other batter you've got is Bethel, so Bethel has to come in, and the only other prime spinner you've got is Bashir. So, and I like I said, I think Jax now plays the rest of the series as your
Mhm.
spinner because he batted well.
Yeah.
That's the sum of it. And then watch Nathan Lyon get 7 for 50 in the next game. Um,
After we drop Jacks
yeah,
for an
yeah,
extra seam
yeah.
bowler.
But I agree. I think Tongue should play. Wood's not going to be fit. I mean, I'm a fan of Potts, but for some reason they don't want to play Potts.
Hmm.
I think Potts is probably a more potent bowler than Atkinson at the moment.
Hmm.
He's a bit more skiddier, and I think he gives a bit more. I don't know, but I'd like to see either Potts or Tongue come in,
Hmm.
and I guess they would come in for either Cass or Atkinson, because I imagine they'll just keep rolling out Archer out for the rest of the series
Yeah,
until he breaks.
I think the third test would have been a good time to rest Jofra
Yeah,
had it gone any
yeah.
better, but
Well, I think they've got over a week again. I think it's like 11 days
ah,
again.
that's
They've got a
okay.
while.
Yeah.
So I think Joffa should be fine. So I think you'd just be asking whether you want to freshen the attack up. I
Hmm.
think Tongue should probably play, considering he was the leading wicket take for
Yeah.
England in the home summer. Um, and yeah, I think for me, if you play Tongue, I think he comes in for Cars. So maybe I don't want that. I think if you play Potts, he comes in for Atkinson because he's similar. So
Hmm.
but maybe they keep the same team and only pick Bethel because maybe the bowler. I don't think the bowlers bowled. They didn't bowl great, but I don't think they were horrendous. I think
Hmm.
if the catches had been taken, you'd probably looking at Australia 390 all out maybe, and it's a different game. Probably not. Um, so who knows? A mess. But I think it has to be Bethel. You can't wait until the series is gone until you make a change like that. I think it's a change where, like in the 23 series, they were 2-0 down in that one, and then they brought in Wood and Wokes, and that completely changed the whole course of the series. Um, so you need to freshen it up and change it because it's just not working.
Yeah, now is the time to make any kind of risky changes,
Yeah.
or just any
Yeah.
changes at all, because
You have to. You have to win all
yeah,
three games.
exactly.
You have to just go with what you think is
Hmm.
best. So,
Yeah.
and if you win the next game, then I think you bring Wood in for Archer at the MCG. But if they win, um, but speaking of winning, shall we see if we can
Mhm.
win the second test instead?
Okay,
Is
yeah.
it more
I was,
exciting? Have you
I
got
mean,
another
yeah,
point?
it's more exciting. I was just wondering where you were going with the speaking of winning, seeing as we drew the first game.
But we're going to win the second game. So let me know. Can you see it? Is this working?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, cool. Hopefully, listeners can see it as well. Okay, so as our faithful listeners remember, we drew the first test in our cricket
Mhm.
captain career mode, not career mode, whatever it is, our cricket captain series mode. Okay, so we're playing the same Australia team, but picking our own team.
Should we not put head in the team and change the bowling around for Australia? I think
We
that's a good
will, yeah,
idea.
we'll come to Australia second, so I'll
Okay,
figure that in a
let's.
second. Um, but I think, as I mentioned to you the other day,
Mhm.
we should reflect what England do game by game, in that we have to make one change. So
Cool.
they
Yeah.
brought in Jacks for Wood, so we've got to change a bowler.
Hmm.
Um, Do we do opposite and take out a spinner and put in a seamer for a day-night test? Or
Yeah, I kind of like that, to be fair.
yeah, so we've got our bowling options. We've got Atkinson, Potts, Wood, Saqib as our other pacers. Who you've I been for?
I mean, logic dictates Mark Wood, but
Yeah,
my heart is always there for Saqib Mahmood.
well, it's got to be Saqib then, isn't it?
No, but I want to win. Let's,
We're going Wood.
yeah, let's go Wood for
Okay,
Leach, I
Leach,
guess, which
who
is,
had he bowled 69 overs in the first game and went for 2.4 and over, which is great. But ringing Wood, there he is.
we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think he's probably a bit a better bowler than Archer. So we've kind of gone England here. I don't know if that's good. We've gone, a pace barrage with our right arm fast.
But it's also kind of based on what Australia actually did for this. Not
Yeah,
like they
it's
weren't
true.
fast, but they were all
Yeah.
seam attack.
Okay. Well, we'll see how it goes. We're good with that.
Hmm.
I'm not. I don't know if I'm going to be happy with that soon, but we'll see.
Are we gonna
I'm,
stick with Carson Jofra to open the bowling?
well, England, yeah, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
They did well in the first game. Well, Joffrey didn't read it too well, but it's fine.
We've got to keep an
Um,
eye on that fitness bar as well. There's some
I know, I
players
know.
who,
They're worrying. It's
yeah.
worrying. But okay, cool. Right. So Australia. Hopefully, I can change Australia. Yep, I can. Cool. Right. I don't know why this is all wrong. So, faithful listeners, wait whilst I fix this. So yeah, Cameron Green batted at no, he didn't bat at four. He batted at five. Marnus at three. Kerry went in at 6. Josh Inglis came in at 7. They dropped Lyon for Nisa. Nisa batted there. Bish Bash Bosh. Nisa was second bowler. Stark was first. That's correct, I think.
Let's just go with it.
Yeah, I think that's fine. If we're wrong, we're not wrong. Cool.
Yeah, never wrong.
So I'm gonna skip match.
Yeah, I disagree with this, but that's fine. It's fine.
But we're gonna skip match, and we're gonna go straight into it. Without our leadership, it's fine. Um, okay, right. I'm gonna go straight into this innings first.
Mhm.
So England, we batted first. 289 all out. This feels a bit familiar.
Yeah, that's not too
Um,
far off what actually
no,
happened.
yeah.
Go on, Hasib,
Hamid
though.
Hasib not out though. 112. We'd love to see it. Rue had a poor game. Rue out for naught. Brook out for 5. This Jafra. This is this is the same scorecard. Jofra got 39, and then there's a batter who got 100 not out, and
And
no
one
one
of
else
the
did anything.
openers got about
Yeah,
70.
yeah. This is the same.
This is the same, but this is still about
Yeah,
60 runs away from
yeah. It's
what
the
the
same.
actual
Yeah,
team got. So
yeah.
it's
Okay, so that's eerily similar. So, okay, cool. Good stuff. Good start. So, Australia batted. Australia got 501. So, this is the same, but I guess one big score rather than several. So, Travis Head got 256 opening the batting. We love to see that.
yeah, well played, Trav. Well played.
Smith 57. They obviously declared, oh no. So for some reason it changed the opening bowlers. Wood 3 of 131, going at 4 and over. Jofra only got 1. Tongue none for. Cast 3 for. That's kind of the exact. That's the same as well. You got to give props to the cricket captain guys because it's it's pretty accurate.
It is.
Stokes 1 for, and then Root and Brook bowled over for some
Yeah.
reason. So
I'm not sure I would have given Brooke over, but that's
well,
fine.
they were in the dirt for 108 overs, so we'd love to see that. Second innings, 264 all out, so this is not quite the same. Rue 35, Brook 54 looks kind of the same. Stokes 66, Smith 58, not out. That's
Mhm.
good for him to finally get some runs, so we're happy with that.
Yeah.
But look over
Stark.
here,
Yep.
Stark 5. Goodness sake. Okay, cool. Nice. Love to see it. Boland 2 for that's very classic Boland. 1 for Nisa, 1 for Green, 1 for Doggett. If you're listening to this on Spotify, it's going to be just names and numbers. So I'd recommend going onto YouTube to see where we're actually sharing the screen and looking at the scorecard. Okay, so it can't be that many to win for Australia. No, they they needed 56 to win compared to 60 today, and they won by 8 wickets, as they also did today. Cool. Wood with 1, Archer with 1, and then the summary being Australia won by 8 wickets, which is the same.
Yeah. That's
That
eerily,
is that is just
eerily similar.
I can't quite get over apart from England's second innings. But even that it still adds up to the same kind of loss.
Yeah, and
That is
apart
genuinely
from like
horrendous.
Travis Head scoring 256,
That is ridiculous. That is a
is
nonsense innings.
they
That is
declared
bizarre.
as well for 8.
Yeah.
That
Christ.
yeah,
I think the funny thing about that is the Joffre at 39 because
it's almost exactly the same.
that's like come on. How much do they put on for each other? That is Hamid and obviously Joffre at the end. They put on 64, which again is
That's
just
about right. That's about the
yeah,
same that Bruce and
that's
Joffre did, isn't it?
that's an absolute nonsense.
To be fair,
Yeah,
we are technically doing better than the actual England team.
we've only lost 1 game.
Exactly.
So yeah, if we look at this series as a whole, we're now 1-0 down, 3 to play. Um, so that is that. Um, goodness me, that's something. Well, we'll make some change. Well, I think dropping Leach was a mistake.
Possibly, but was some logic there.
Yeah. But we'll reconvene and we'll see what England do and how many changes England make next game.
Mhm.
I've got a feeling we might be a bit screwed because they're probably only going to change Pope, aren't they? So we might not be able to bring Leach back.
I mean, we only have to make one change. right? We can make the change however we
Well, they've changed,
like.
yeah, but they changed bowler for bowler, so we kind of feel like we would have to change the batter for a batter.
Hmm.
But oh well, the Ashes are still on in our fate universe. We're only 1-0 down. We've got this. It's fine. Um, I've not got much more depression to talk about today. Have you got any more not cricks, or are we gonna
Yeah,
call it?
I think
Oh,
we'll end it with a short
well, a
one.
happy note. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, a little segment I'd like to call "It's Just Not Cricket's Poetry Corner."
Okay.
In my attempts to learn Japanese, I've
Yeah.
started to write haikus.
Okay. Love it. I'm
The
ready. I can't wait for another haiku.
Yeah, so after this abysmal 4 days, I thought I'd end it with a potentially abysmal 17 syllable.
Okay. Nice.
Saru ipiki wa haiku o kaku no ga tsurai. To write a haiku, it's challenging, yet I am a single monkey.
Great stuff. And you're off to Japan next year,
I
so you
am,
can take
yeah.
that and you'll be ready.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say when I'm there.
Yeah. A single monkey.
It's kind of referencing the monkeys with the typewriters doing
Oh,
Shakespeare.
okay. I see. I see. I see. Okay.
And
Nice.
like, I've not looked up any sort of references, so I'm the single monkey doing it by
Okay.
myself. So it's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
difficult.
That's fun. I like
Yeah,
that.
I like it as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I would happily have just not crick poetry corner every week.
Yeah, we need to like find some non-copyright jazz music
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah.
and then
That'd
just
be
like get
nice.
close to the microphones and just sort of whisper a bit and just deepen our
Yeah.
voices and just be like,
ASMR, the poetryness. That'd be
yeah,
nice. Yeah.
maybe do a whole episode like this, just reviewing the test match.
Oh, I don't like that. Um, so if you've got some poetry you want to share, send it in on our social medias. Where
Um,
can they find us? Well, a lot of them can apparently
Hold
from
on.
this stupid post.
On Just Not Crick Pod, TikTok, Blue
Yep.
Sky, Instagram, podcast places too.
Nice.
That was perfect. That was 17
That's great.
syllables.
Yeah. So yeah, make sure to give us a follow, whatever, or give us a listen, if you fancy it. Anyway, we've got a few days off. Um, Merry Christmas, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some lunch.
Nice. Enjoy.
Thanks.